This is why your recordings suck. Don't worry, it's not your fault. If you're in a band and you want to be taken seriously, especially a heavy band, you need an absolutely slamming sounding song. And in the age of DIY recording, so many bands are screwing this part up. The fact of the matter is, poor quality recordings lead to poor quality songs. And poor quality songs is what's going to keep you stuck in your local scene. DIY recordings definitely have their benefits, but there's so many more negatives than there are positives. The best way to get great music is to get a great song and to get it to sound great. The great song part we could talk about another day. Today I want to focus on getting your song to sound great. Sounding great means it's a great mix and a great master. And the best way to get those things is to have great sounding recordings of really, really good performances that were captured perfectly. And if you're recording in your guitar player's basement, the chances are you don't have the skills necessary to get both of those things. And again, it's not your fault. And today we're going to talk about how to get around that. But first, what's up? I'm Dan Ferguson, engineer, producer, and owner of Riff Haven Audio here in Levittown, New York. So what's the best way to get great recordings of great takes? Well, the best way is to hire a professional engineer. This is one of the first steps out of what I call the local band wasteland. So many bands get stuck there for a really long time, if not indefinitely. The bands that you see breaking out of their local scene take this step. I get it, there's lots of reasons why people don't do it, but what are the benefits that we're talking about here? You're gonna have a record that stands out amongst your peers, the other artists in your genre. It's gonna save you a ton of time, and also, and maybe most importantly, you get peace of mind. You don't have to sit there wondering if the move you're making with the EQ is the right one or not, or if this is the right mic for the thing that you're recording at the moment. You get to just be the artist. It's the same reason if there's a plumbing issue in my house, I could probably figure out a way to fix it, but I'd much rather call a professional. I don't want to come home from work one day and have 2 inches of water with stuff floating around on my floor. The peace of mind of hiring a professional is so worth it. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the age of DIY recording that we're all living through right now. Number one, it's great for demos, it's great for writing, it's really, really good for getting ideas. You don't have to book studio time just to lay down a riff over a drum groove because you have this idea in your head that you don't want to forget. The other thing is that it's really affordable. All you really need is a computer and an interface. And as far as recording songs to release, this is a great tool for hobbyists. If your band is something that you do to have fun, write some songs, release them, play a gig every 2 months or so, and enjoy it, totally cool. But if you're serious about your band and you're looking to break out of your local scene, this is the logical first step to take. First of all, it takes all the guesswork out of it. You don't have to wonder if the moves that you're making are the right or the wrong ones. And you can do your due diligence. You can go online. There's plenty of YouTube videos that cover this kind of thing. There's plenty of places you can go on the internet for information. But that's what it is. It's information. It might be good information. It might be bad information. But how do you know the difference? The bottom line is you don't know what you don't know. You could watch a YouTube video of someone with this really cool mixing trick, but that might not necessarily fit for the context of your specific song. And when you try it and it doesn't work, you're left scratching your head. DIY recording also is going to take so much more time than if you went to a professional. The first reason is a professional is going to move really, really fast in their DAW. They know all their keyboard shortcuts. They know what mic they need to grab next. They're 5 steps ahead of whatever you're doing right now. You're definitely not going to have that. But also, doing it yourself is going to make so many second-guessing opportunities present themselves to you. Does this mix sound better than the last mix? Does mix 47 sound a lot different than mix 8? There are so many bands right now that have songs that they're really, really proud of that they're endlessly tweaking because they don't know if it's done or not. You get into this cycle of indecision. Indecision is never a good thing. There's lots of flat squirrels on the road that had a really hard time making a decision. And you only have limited bandwidth. If you're the artist and the engineer, you have to split your focus between both of those things. And when you multitask, both things that you're doing suffer. Imagine the freeing feeling of walking into a studio with your instrument, you're warming up, and all you have to do is sit there and nail your part. Not hit record, do a quick edit while your guitar's on your lap, and now it's slipping off and it's gonna fall on the floor, and then you knock the thing over on your desk. So many headaches. A really good professional engineer is not only gonna take all those things off your plate, but they're gonna give you so much more than you probably realize. Number one, they know what a great take sounds like. If you're recording your own vocalist and they hit the notes they're supposed to hit, that's not necessarily a great take. A great take is when a vocalist delivers a line or a lyric with such emotional impact that the words he's speaking are felt by the listener. And a great engineer is going to know what they need to perform their best. I've worked with singers that need the lighting to be just right in order to get themselves in the headspace to deliver great performances. I've had drummers need a perfect headphone mix in order for them to play their best. But it doesn't stop there. A great engineer will coach you through your performances. A guitar player might sound better if they use a different gauge pick for this particular riff. They know how to prevent all that unwanted string noise from happening before the recording goes into the computer, not fix it after the fact. And a great engineer knows their gear inside and out, whether it's an amp, a plug-in, a microphone. They know what tool is needed for the job and the best way to use it to capture the best performance they can. The other thing is, what if something goes wrong? If you're recording yourself and something goes wrong, you might have to spend hours on YouTube searching for the answer to the thing that you're going through. A pro engineer has probably dealt with that problem several hundred times, and it'll take them 2 minutes what might take you 2 hours or even 2 days. How do I know all this stuff? Well, I'm both. Well, technically, I'm not both right now. So when I first started, I was recording my band DIY. I had a computer, I had an 8-channel interface, and I had all the knowledge I could get from reading books. This is before YouTube really took off. There were no forums online with people discussing this kind of thing. I did as much research as I possibly could. And the first 4 things that I put out sucked. I literally did the best job I could. All I could do was make sure the computer didn't crash and make sure nothing clipped going in. And after that, it was just using my ears and trusting my instincts, which is a good idea. But the bottom line was, my instincts weren't based on anything. It took thousands and thousands of hours to get to where I am today. And that sucks, because that's a lot of music that could have been recorded by someone else that knew what they were doing that I could listen back on today and still enjoy. And to this day, I can't listen to those recordings. Now, if you're looking to go that route, if you're looking to record other bands and stuff like that, then by all means, keep recording yourself. But if you're looking to release music that's going to take you someplace, definitely hire a pro. I prefer full service music production, which means from the writing to the master and everything in between, because I have mixed bands that have self-recorded before. And I can tell you this, almost all of the files that I get from those types of bands are not high quality files. And if you hire a mixer to mix your record, their job is to mix. If they need to start editing stuff, you may run into extra charges for all the time they're going to have to spend tweaking things and manipulating sounds just to make something usable. Or worst case scenario, the audio is so bad they have to ask the artist to re-record something. If you've ever seen any of those shows where a famous, amazing chef goes into a local restaurant, and one of the first things they teach the kitchen staff is, keep it simple, start with fantastic ingredients, and you'll get better dishes. The same is true with music. If you send your files to a mix engineer, and you're sending them high quality, great audio with outstanding performances, they get to focus on what they're supposed to be doing, which is bringing out the emotional intent of the artist so that it connects with everybody who listens to it. Not add 14 plugins to a piece of audio just so that it's usable. So the bottom line is, if your band is a hobby, then DIY might be a very viable option. It's affordable, and technology's gotten so good that plugins out of the box on presets all sound pretty good. But if everybody's doing that, you're gonna sound like everybody. And hobbyist bands probably don't mind that. But if you're looking to break out of your local scene, you have aspirations of going on tour or getting on a curated playlist or getting signed, hiring a professional engineer is a strong first step into being taken seriously by the kinds of people that can open those doors for you. At the end of the day, it's really about what you want. If you're in a heavy band that's stuck in your local band wasteland and you're looking to break out by getting high quality recordings that lead to a slamming song, just go to riffhavenaudio.com, hit the get started button, answer a couple questions, and see if we might be a good fit to work together. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.